Okay, so tetragonal, two types of arrangement, and then we have orthorhombic with four types of arrangements. So nine types of arrangement and three types of crystal systems we had discussed in the last class. So we have to move on with another four crystal systems, right? And another five types of arrangement to go. So next is monoclinic. Monoclinic, you can see the figure, it's very clear that none of the lengths are same. So none of the lengths will be same. Two of the angles will be same and equal to 90 degree, and the other one will be larger. Okay. Two types, the primitive, that means simple, where you have atoms only at the corners, and then base centered, that means all atoms at the corners. Along with that, you have one at the center of the base, top and bottom portions, you have one atom each. Next, you have triclinic. I don't want to stress a lot here because you need to only know how the lattice parameters vary. That means how the lengths vary, A, B, C, the sides vary, and how the angles vary, and what are the different types. Okay, but there are more things which are more important, so I am going towards that. I'm not going to stress a lot on this. So next we have triclinic, where nothing is equal. That means all sides are same and all angles, all sides are not at all same. None of the sides are same and none of the angles are equal. And you have only simple or primitive, that means only corners, atoms at the corners. Next is trigonal or rhombohedral. You have all sides same, all angles same. Okay, if I did not have the rest, it would have been like a simple cubic. But unfortunately, this is not like simple cubic. Angles are same, but they are not equal to 90 degree. Very important point here. Angles are same, but they are not equal to 90 degree. But at the same time, it is less than 120 degree. That means it's not 90, it's not perpendicular, not all are orthogonal. So, but it is less than 120 degree. So you might have seen the shape of a kite. We say that shape is a rhombus. So this is a rhombus shape on the top and at the bottom. So this is only simple or primitive. That means one atom at the corners, 8 atoms total. So we have done 6 crystal systems, and after the 9 it is 10, 11, 12, 13. That means one crystal system and one more arrangement of atom is pending. So moving into the last one, that's hexagonal. Hexagonal. So hexagon shape. You know the shape of an hexagon, right? So you can just see, look at this top portion. Don't see the blue. Don't look at the blue part. Just see the top. This is the shape of a hexagon. Okay. Now what I have done is within that, I am going to, within this entire structure, I have considered the front portion. This is a big structure actually. It's a big structure. Okay. When you try drawing it, you will realize this. It's a big structure, and I have considered only the front portion. Okay. And this is our length A, this is B, and this is C. So that means C is longer than A and B. So A is equal to B, but not equal to C. What about the angles? Angle alpha and angle beta will be 90 degree, but angle gamma will be 120 degree. That will be larger. The one opposite C will be larger. And it has only one way of arranging, that is simple. That means one atom at the corner. Okay. Fine. So these are the 7 crystal systems in 14 different ways of arranging atoms. You call them all in one term, that is Bravais lattice. So I just put this one. This is from the Wiley book. I just shared the one in the classroom. So this is just a summary of all those things, just drawn in different ways. So this is the hexagon. This is starting with the cubic to the hexagon. Okay, and all the relations are given. You should know the main thing, how many ways of arranging atoms, that you should know. All right, so example is not mandatory. If you know one each, it's fine. That is sufficient. Okay, but simple cubic, or sorry, the cubic system where you have simple cubic, body centered cubic and face centered cubic is very, very important. The cubic system is, you should know It is very important. Okay, there's a small mistake here. It's not equal to 90 degrees, not necessarily 90 degree. It should be just that the angle should be same. All length should be same, all angles should be same. So if there is a Bravais system where there is a proper arrangement, there also exists a non-Bravais lattice system where there is no proper arrangement. Okay, so basically this is like a honeycomb structure. Honeycomb, you would have seen it, or you would have heard about it, or you would have seen it in some pictures or videos, Nat Geo and all, right? So honeycomb structure is an example of a non-Bravais. So what happens is, if I consider the different lattice points, they all see this position 1, position 2, position 3, they all are not equal. They don't look the same. If I look in this direction, it looks different. Say, suppose you can see the direction in which the arrow is going. If I look at this in this direction, this structure looks something. If I look in this direction, the structure looks something else. The structure, if I take a cubic system, the simplest cubic system I take, whichever direction I see it, I always see it in a similar cube form, right? But here, in this case of a honeycomb kind of structure, the non-Bravais, why are we saying non-Bravais? If I look in this direction, I'll feel that it is having some kind of structure. But if I look in some other direction, the structure looks different. It will not be equivalent. Okay, so this is an example of a non-Bravais lattice. Now, moving on to a few properties of unit cell. So, what did we understand as a unit cell? A unit cell is the smallest portion of a crystal system, which you keep on repeating it, right? Smallest portion, which you keep on repeating, and you end up getting the entire crystal system or the entire crystal structure. So, there are a few important properties of this unit cell which you need to know. First one is very simple, number of atoms per unit cell. How many atoms are there if I consider one unit cell? How many atoms are there? Next is atomic radius. Why does this concept of radius comes into picture? Because, say for an example, I consider this orange atom which I have put here. This looks like a sphere. 2 dimension it is a circle, but 3 dimension it is a sphere. So because of that, a sphere obviously has a radius. That means an atom also has a radius. Okay. But there is one more definition for that. Instead of saying that it's just the radius of the atom, because the atom is like a sphere, there is one more definition. For that, I need to come to this sphere. So what I have done is, this is the simple cubic structure. Okay. Keep yourself muted, guys. Please. Any doubts, you post it in the chat box. At the end, we will take it up. So this is your simple cubic system, okay? And I have considered the atoms which are close by in the front, this front portion. I have taken the front portion. I have 4 atoms kept next to each other. It looks like this, okay? Now, I have taken the center of each of these atoms, okay, and connected them all. It forms a square like this. I take the center of each atom and connected them. It forms a square. But I know from the center of the atom to the edge of that atom, it will be the radius. Because this is like a circle in 2 dimension or a sphere in 3 dimension. So from the center, if I measure till the edge, it will be always equal to the radius. So this is the radius. This is the radius of this atom, first atom. Okay, left side, bottom. Next, right side, bottom, another atom. The same way, from the center of the atom to the edge of the atom. Distance r or radius, it is equal to the radius. Okay, so 2 neighboring atoms I have considered here. There are 2 neighboring atoms, and if I see, this is actually very next to each other, right? So this distance from the center to its edges r, and for the second atom also from the center to its edges r. But actually, this is also equal to the total distance between the first atom and the second atom, or the neighboring atoms. It is the total distance. Okay, total distance between the neighboring atoms. So what do I get actually? Radius of first atom plus radius of the second atom. That means 2r. 2r. So I have got now two terms. One is the radius of the atom. Another one is the distance between the neighboring atoms or nearest neighboring atoms. Nearest neighboring distance. I'll give it by a letter A. So that A, this entire length is equal to 2r. Okay. This actually, if I bring it here in 3 dimension, that square, this portion bottom, whatever you're seeing as r plus r, is actually this. That is the side of the cube or the lattice parameter A. So A is equal to 2r. Nearest neighboring distance between the atoms is equal to twice the radius of atom, or radius is equal to half of the nearest distance between the nearest neighboring atoms. Okay. So we got the two definitions. One is for radius, another one is the nearest neighboring distance between the atoms. Basically, in simplest form, nearest neighboring distance means distance between the centers of two nearest neighboring atoms. So we just took a simple cubic and we saw that it is equal to twice the radius. One radius plus another radius. One radius from first atom, another radius from the second atom. I add it together, I get the distance, nearest distance. I denote it by the letter A because for a cubic system, A is equal to B is equal to C. So for that reason, I can consider all length as same, or I say it as A. Okay. Now, next important parameter is coordination number. So what is it? Number of nearest neighboring atoms to a particular atom. That means if I have a cubic system or any other crystal system out of the 7, how many nearest neighboring atoms are there to one particular atom? How do I understand this? I have taken a simple cubic structure. Okay. So this is my simple cubic structure. This is an entire structure. This is an entire structure. Okay. And all of them are simple cube. All of them are simple cube based. Now, I have considered this one atom at one of the corners. I consider this one atom. If I look into this entire structure, how many nearest atoms are there to this orangish atom? First one is the one directly above, and then there is one to the left hand side, there is one to the right hand side, there is one to the front, one to the back, and one to the bottom. So one on the top, left, right, front, back, and bottom. So totally 6. How many nearest neighboring atoms are there with respect to one atom? So this is a simple cubic structure. The entire crystal structure is made of simple cubic systems. So I considered one atom and I find how many are there nearest to it, and I get coordination number 6. It's known as coordination number. Number of nearest neighboring atoms existing with respect to a particular atom. Next, if I take a BCC structure, a body-centered cubic structure. So body-centered cubic, you know that there is one atom at the center of the entire cube. How many atoms are there at the nearest distance from this center? So this green atom, which is at the body center, how many are there which are at the nearest distance? How do I understand? This is the most simplest I will say, because this green one is closest to the all these corner atoms. 8 corner atoms are there, and all of them are at the shortest distance with respect to this body-centered atom. So 8 corner atoms are there, so coordination number is 8 in case of body-centered cubic. Face-centered cubic, it is a bit difficult to understand if I put in terms of the structure. So what I have done here is, I have this entire crystal structure, okay, and I have considered one face-centered atom, okay. So if there is a proper FCC crystal structure with me, I could have shown you exactly how it is. Right now, this is the only way for me to show you. So I have considered one which is at the center of the face. Okay. What you can understand is here, you can see it in this way. So this is the atom which I have considered, the face centered atom. Okay. So there are 4 in the same plane, in the same line or same plane in the sense. If I take, basically it is like I've taken a piece of paper and I considered one atom, and in the same paper how many atoms are there close by. Okay, so there are 4 in the same plane. I take another paper, there are 4 on the top. I keep a paper, so I have one paper at the center, I have one paper on the top, I have one paper at the bottom. Just imagine it that way. So the paper is actually, I am saying it as paper just for you to imagine. Actually, it is a plane. It is not as a crystal plane in which the atoms exist. Okay. So within the same plane, there are 4. On the top, there are 4. You can see this X, 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 4 on the top. And bottom also there are 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So totally 4 plus 4 on the same plane, 4 on the top and 4 at the bottom. So totally it becomes 12. So coordination number for FCC is 12. Now, moving on to next is understanding something called as atomic packing factor. Once again, the same, we are considering a cubic system. Okay. Now, what do I understand as atomic packing factor? How much of the entire crystal system or how much of the cubic system have been occupied by the atoms, or how much it is packed. Say I take a cover and fill in some oranges, right? How much percentage of that cover is filled with the oranges? So obviously, why did I take orange? Because it looks almost spherical for that reason. Okay, similar to an atom, just to give you an analogy. Not that an orange is an atom. Okay, so if I pack a cover with oranges, you obviously know that there is some portion which is occupied by the atoms, but there is some space which is not occupied. The same way, what do I going to do? How much atoms are there? How much portion of the crystal system or the cubic system, or how much portion is being occupied by the atoms? It is defined in this way. Ratio of the volume of atoms occupying a unit cell to that of the entire unit cell. That means if I consider one unit cell in a cubic system or any crystal system, if I consider one unit cell, how many atoms, instead of saying how many as a count, I'm saying volume of atoms. What is the volume of atoms which occupy that unit cell? And then what is the volume of that entire unit cell? If I take a ratio of that, I will get the atomic packing factor. So this was a figure we just explained. So this was for a reason. I know that each atom is like a sphere. So that means I should have an expression. If I try to find the volume of a sphere, the volume of a sphere is very simple. 4 by 3 pi r cube, right? So radius obviously comes into picture. So how is the radius related to the nearest neighboring distance? That factor is very important. So I'm just going to repeat this again. I have a simple cubic system and I am considering this front portion. There are 4 atoms here in the front, okay, which are there at the corners. Now, in this 3-dimensional way, you are only seeing like this is only a portion which has come, not the entire sphere which has come. If I put in 2 dimension, I can take it like this. Connect the center of each atoms. I will get that the nearest neighboring distance A is equal to twice the radius of the atom. But this distance A is nothing but the length of the cube or the side of the cube, or what to say, it's a lattice parameter. For the simplest reason, A, if this is A is equal to B, it is equal to C in a cubic system. This is a main important point you need to remember. All sides are same or of the same length. So I'll take it as A is equal to 2R or 2R is equal to A. I'll get radius R is equal to A by 2. Okay. Now, what do I need? Why do I need that? I need to find the volume of atoms occupying a unit cell and then volume of the entire unit cell. So for that, first you need to know how many lattice points can be there in a simple cubic structure. So there are 8 corner atoms and 1 by 8, each is sharing, each is contributing 1 by 8. This, I said only a portion, right? When this much came in, this is actually 1 by 8 of a sphere. This is only 1 by 8 of a sphere. So there are 8 corner atoms, each of them giving 1 by 8 of theirs. Okay. So total number of lattice points is given by 1 by 8 into 8 is equal to 1. 1 by 8 into 8 is equal to 1. Now next, volume of the atoms, volume of a single atom is 4 by 3 pi r cube. But then volume of all the atoms, what should I do? I should take this total number, that is this 1 into 4 by 3 pi r cube. It's not 8, the total number is not 8 because you don't have a full sphere here. Are you understanding this? It's not a full sphere. You are only getting 1 by 8 of each. So for that reason, your total number of atoms is 1 by 8 of 8. 1 by 8 into 8. One atom gives 1 by 8. Another one gives 1 by 8. Third, 1 by 8. Fourth, 1 by 8. Fifth, 1 by 8. Sixth, 1 by 8. 7, 1 by 8. 8 also 1 by 8. So 1 by 8 into 8 gives me 1. That is the total number of atoms existing in this unit cell. Volume of each atom is 4 by 3 pi r cube. So volume of all those atoms will be, what is the total number? 1 into 4 by 3 pi r cube. Now next you have this relation R is equal to A by 2. You can use it. At the same time you need this denominator, that is volume of the entire unit cell. This is a cubic system. That means like a cube, say of same side, A is equal to B is equal to C. We say that it is just A. So volume of a cube is A cube. A is equal to A cube. I just put this relation between A and R. Find atomic packing factor as ratio of small v divided by capital V. Substitute all these things. You will get a value pi by 6. I hope you all know pi, 3.14. Pi by 6, value is 0.52. Atomic packing factor for a simple cubic system is 0.52. What does it mean? 52% of the simple cubic system is occupied by atom. The leftover, how much? 100 minus 52, 48. 48% is not occupied. So atomic packing factor for a simple cubic is 52% or 0.52. Similarly, we have to do for body centered and free centered. Next, body centered. Once again, the same problem. In the previous case, it was very easy. We just considered the nearest atoms. We got that radius plus radius, twice the radius is equal to same as this length A, right? Nearest neighboring distance. But in case of BCC, it's not that easy because there is an atom at the center of the cube, right? So you can see in 3 dimension, you had all this 1 by 8 of each sphere, right? At each of the corner, 8 corner atoms contributing 1 by 8. But there is a full body centered atom at the center, right? So because of this, the relation between radius and A, that is the length of the cube or the side of the cube, is a bit complicated and we need to find that. So what I have done is, and this was 3 dimension. On left hand side, I have taken it in 2 dimension. Okay, I have taken it in 2 dimension. And so this is 1 by 8 of an atom here at the bottom front, and at this point C, that is back, top, right side. I have taken another atom which is also giving 1 by 8, and in between is this full atom. Okay, so this 1 by 8 fellow from point A will have a length of R. And the other fellow from point C will also have a length of R, like exactly like how we saw in the previous. It will contribute R each, but this entire atom, central atom, will have R plus R, 2R. This is a full diameter of the sphere which has come into picture. Okay, this is a full diameter of the sphere which has come into picture. So it is twice the radius. So if I take this full distance AC, I will get as R plus 2R plus R, that is what is written here, 4R. So distance between two corner atoms in the diagonal I have found to be 4R. Okay. And then what am I doing? That's not sufficient for me. That 4R is not sufficient. I am going to consider a triangle. So I have point A, I have point C, I put a point B here at the bottom, I put another point D also. Okay. So what I am going to do is this. So I have got AC as 4R. Okay. This side is also the same as the cube lengths BC, that is A. So if I consider this triangle ABC, what all I have? I have the length AC, sorry. I have the length AC, I have the length BC, but I don't know what is AB, right? I don't know what is AB. If I consider three sides of a triangle, I should know what is the length on each of the side. I have one side AC, 4R, another side BC is A, and the third side AB, you don't know, you have to find it, right? So for that, what am I doing? I consider this point D, I consider another triangle ABD here at the bottom. So I have the length AD as A, BD is also A. So then obviously I can apply Pythagoras theorem and find the length AB. If I know the length AB, I can find, what can I do? I have the lengths for AC, BC, AB. I have all three sides. I can get the relation between radius and A. Okay. So now AD is A, BD is also A. So AB will be square root of A square plus A square, right? Pythagoras theorem, just apply it. A square plus A square, root of 2A square. And then you have, use that AB, you have then BC, use that here in the final for the full triangle ABC. You can just do this. All these are very simple maths. You should be able to do. You will finally get that the radius is equal to root 3A by 4. Root 3A by 4. This is the relation in case of body-centered cubic. Root 3A by 4. Moving on to the next one, that is face-centered cubic. Oh, sorry, I forgot. We got the relation, but we didn't find the atomic packing factor. So, what is the total number of atoms now? 1 by 8 of each atom, 1 by 8 of each. Along with that, there is a one full sphere or one full atom at the center. So, total number of atoms or total number of lattice points become 1 by 8 of 8 plus 1, that is total is 2. Once again, volume of single atom is 4 by 3 pi r cube. Then volume of all atoms will be this 2 multiplied by 4 by 3 pi r cube. Volume of the unit cell again B is equal to A cube because this is a cubic system, all sides are same. So just A cube. And what is the relation for A and R? You have got in the previous. That relation you put it, you'll get it like this. Then what do you have to do? Find the ratio of small v by capital V, that is atomic packing factor. You will get it like this, root 3 pi by 8 or 0.68. That means 68% of the body-centered cubic has been occupied by atoms. Left over 100 minus 68, how much? 32. 32% is not occupied. Similarly, we are finding for face-centered cubic. Face-centered cubic, it becomes pretty much easy in comparison to BCC. The reason is this. Obviously, so this is three-dimensional, right? I am going to consider only the front portion, the front face of the cube. Okay. I have 1 by 8 of an atom at the point A. I have 1 by 8 of another atom at the point C. I have 1 by 8 of another atom at the point B. Once again, distance from A to C, how do I find it? 1 by 8 of this atom will give me a distance R, A. Point A, whatever is the atom, that will give me a distance R. Point C, whatever is the atom, that will give me a distance R. And the face centered atom, the full atom which is there at the center, that will contribute the entire diameter, that is 2r, r plus r, 2r. So what do you get? Once again, AC will be r from point A, r from point C, and 2r from the center. Total distance is 4r. Okay, and AB is A only, right? The side of the cube. BC is also side of the cube, that is also A. So now your triangle ABC is very simpler. It's very easy to write in Pythagoras theorem form. So I'll get AC square is equal to AB square plus BC square. But 4r the whole square is A square plus A square. I just put it and rearrange. I will get this relation. R is equal to A by 2 root 2. R is equal to A by 2 root 2. Same way like how we did for the BCC, we have to find the packing factor. But now here, you don't have a corner atom, you're having an atom at the center of the face. How many faces are there? There are 6 faces for a cube, right? This is one, there's a front, there is a back, there is a top, there is a bottom, there is a left, there is a right. So there are 6 faces, right? So 6 atoms at the center of each faces, and each of them are shared by 2, or it's contributing only half. Okay, so if I have to find the total number of atoms or total number of lattice points, I will get 1 by 8 of 8 from the corner atoms, and sorry, I made a mistake here. It's a half of 6. That is, half of 6 is 3. So this is 1 plus 3 is equal to 4. Half of 6 it is. Half of 6. Okay, I can correct it now also. Just a second. Half of 6, yes. So half of 6, it makes it 4. 1 plus 3 makes it 4. Once again, volume of each atom 4 by 3 pi r cube. So volume of all the atoms will be 4 times 4 by 3 pi r cube. Number of atoms 4, so 4 into 4 by 3 pi r cube. Capital V, volume of the cube or volume of the unit cell is A cube. A and R you have just contemplation in the previous slide, just substituted. Take the ratio of small v by capital V, you will get the atomic packing factor. Value is like this, 0.74. 0.74 you will get it. Okay, so just try calculating all these things. Oh, we noticed one thing. In case of BCC, it was 0.52. In case of simple cube, it was 0.52. BCC was 0.68 and FCC is 0.74. What does it mean? Atomic packing factor of FCC is greater than atomic packing factor of BCC is greater than atomic packing factor of simple cube. So because of that, I can say FCC is the most packed cubic structure, or FCC is the most packed cubic system in comparison to all. Or simple cube is the least packed. It is the least packed. Okay, so